Okay, everyone, welcome to this session. In this, I'll be covering the CA Inter Law chapter of Accounts of Companies, question and answers. Question and answers will cover the areas that ICAI has explored or has given in the mock test papers, the revision test papers, and the past papers. Okay, so we'll be covering this chapter wise one by one. Okay, so let's see. Now, here I'll be writing regarding the hint of the answer. Okay, so whatever is the hint, I'll be writing here. Okay, the entire answer, of course, I'll not be able to write here in this YouTube session. What I'll be telling is, I'll be telling you exactly on what basis, on what lines you should think in relation to this answer. Okay, so if you are one of my students, you will be having this in the printed books also. So you will be having the questions and the solution area would be given to write there. So you can write these hints so that it is easy for you to understand what the answer should be like. Also, we have also done several questions in the class where I've told you how to write the answer. So you can take that as the base and you can create the answer by yourself. Okay. This is of course required to be seen. This lecture you should see only after you have done that chapter with me or you have done the revision at least so that you are able to understand what this matter is about. Okay. Let's see. XYZ Limited wants to maintain the books of accounts on cash basis. Is this a valid act of XYZ Limited? So the main question here is, can we maintain the accounts on cash basis? That is what they have said. Now in section number 128, we saw something in relation to maintenance of books of accounts. Maintenance of books of accounts. In maintenance, we did a code called TADPO. Okay, if you remember, TADPO. In this, we had done something called as A. A is accounts should be maintained on which basis? Accrual basis. Okay, so this is what we had done in the class. So here a simple answer can be that it cannot be maintained on cash basis, it can be maintained only on which basis? Accrual basis. Easy. Next one. The registered office of the company is situated in a classified backward area of Maharashtra. Okay. The board wants to keep its books of accounts at its corporate office in Mumbai, which is conveniently located. Fine. The board seeks your advice about the feasibility of maintaining the accounting records at a place other than the registered office of the company advice. That is what they have said. Now, understand here. Basically, normally the books of accounts of the company will be kept at the registered office of the company. Okay. However, if the company plans to keep it and change the location, it can only be there at any place in India. You can only keep it at any place in India. Okay. Now, if the company is planning to change its office, so basically, if the registered office is in a classified backward area of Maharashtra, okay, so you can keep it there. Now, however, when you read the question, they are saying that they want to keep it in their corporate office in Mumbai. Can they keep it? The answer is yes, because Mumbai is in India. Easy to understand. Now they have said the board seeks your advice regarding the feasibility of maintaining. Can they keep it? The answer is yes, they can keep it, provided there is only one condition. That is, after the board of directors take the decision. So after the board of directors take the decision, they have to intimate the ROC within how many days? Within 7 days. They have to intimate the ROC within how many days? Within 7 days. This we had done again in section number 128 in the category of place of keeping the books of accounts of the company. Okay, place of keeping. This is what was there. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Ravi Limited maintain the books of accounts under single entry system of accounting. Is it permitted under the provisions of the Companies Act 2013? Again, we go back to section number 128 and we go to the code TADPO. And in TADPO, we had done the DD double entry system of accounting. Okay. So, can you keep it in single entry system of accounting? The answer is no. Is it permitted? No. You have to keep it as per the double entry system of accounting as per section number 128 of the Companies Act 2013. Okay. Next one. State the person responsible for complying with the provisions regarding maintenance of books of accounts of a company. Who shall maintain the books of accounts? So here in our code bumper, we had done that R is responsibility. Okay, so who is responsible? So there we had done the managing director of the company, the whole-time director in charge of finance of the company, the chief financial officer of the company, or any other person charged by the board in this regard that we had seen. Okay, and if they don't comply, the penalty is how much? 50,000 to 5 lakhs. Okay, penalty is not asked. I'm just sharing that with you. So you will write in responsible those persons which I just named. Okay, this is again given in section number 128. Whether a company can keep books of accounts in electronic mode accessible outside India. So very nice one, accessible outside India. So here we had seen rule 3. Remember 3 is standing in front of mirror, so it looks like E. Okay. So this was in relation to your electronic books of accounts. Can you maintain electronic books of accounts? The answer is yes. Okay. However, there are some conditions, and the conditions are A, B, C, P, R. Okay. A was simple, accessible in India only. It should be accessible in India. They have said accessible only outside India. Only outside India means it is not accessible in India. So can this be allowed? The answer is no. The answer is no. Easy. Let's go on to the next one. Green Limited is a company dealing in trading of spices. It has maintained its books of account under single entry system of accounting. So again, the same issue. Okay, they cannot maintain it because it should be double entry. The company has recently hired a new accountant. Okay, the new accountant, Mr. Dubey, is doubtful that the accounts can be maintained in single entry system. Advise the company whether it is allowed to do so. The answer is the company is not allowed because the company has to maintain as per double entry system of accounting. Okay, this you can see this was asked in mock test paper of March 2021. Okay, next one. The tribunal has ordered the reopening of the accounts of MIT Limited. Okay, remember whenever reopening is given, it is covered in section number 130. Okay, section number 130 is reopening. Okay, so they are given here reopening of accounts of MIT Limited. The directors of the company has approached. The directors of the company have approached you to explain to them the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 in respect of reopening of the accounts on courts or tribunals order. So this is your entire section number 130. Okay, reopening of accounts, that is basically in relation to uh, 6 SAP. Okay, so 6 SAP, that is your SEBI, Income Tax Authority, CG, Statutory Regulatory Body, Authority Person. They can make an application to the tribunal if the accounts are prepared in a fraudulent manner or affairs of the company are mismanaged, which is creating a doubt regarding the reliability of the accounts. When all these situations are there, tribunal will look into the matter, give an opportunity of being heard, and then give its order. Okay. So all those things are written in section number 130. You have to simply write section number 130 here. Okay. Next one. The income tax authorities in the current financial year 2021-22 observed during the assessment proceedings a need to reopen the accounts of Chetan Limited for the financial year 2010-11 and therefore filed an application before the NCLT to issue the order to Chetan Limited for reopening of accounts and recasting the financial statements for the financial year 2010-11. Examine the validity of the application filed by income tax authorities to NCLT. First of all, the first question is: can the income tax authorities asked take permission of the tribunal and ask to reopen the accounts of a company? The answer is yes, they can under section 130 because in 6 SAP, that is SEBI, I is income tax authorities in 6 SAP. Okay, so can they do that? The answer is yes. Now the point comes, sir, to reopen any books of accounts, you need the financial statements to be there, okay, or books of accounts to be there. Here they have approached in the current financial year 21-22 regarding 2010-11. They want to reopen, so they want to go back 11 years. Okay, books of accounts are only maintained for how many years? Normally only for 8 years. Only for 8 years. Longer period also it can be maintained provided CG has an investigation going on. Currently in this case there is nothing written about it. Okay. Now if they want to open 11 years back, can they will their application be valid? The answer is no. The application will not be valid. Okay. So in this question you will have to uh, go into some different areas. You have to first write about section number 130. Then you have to also venture into section number 128 where you have to say that books of accounts are maintained only for how many years? 8 years. And in this case, longer period doesn't seem to be there because CG's investigation is not going on. Hence, then you will say that because the income authorities want to go 11 years back and reopen the books of accounts, they cannot do so because they can only do so for maximum 8 years because books of accounts will only be available for the 8 years. Okay, 8 years preceding the current financial year. Okay, always remember. Let's go to the next one. The directors of Element Limited want to voluntarily revise the financial statements of the company. They have approached you to state to them the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 regarding voluntary revision of financial statements. Voluntary revision is given in section number 131. Once again, it's given in section number 131. So voluntary revision will be completely covered in this part. Okay, just a second, please hold on.